The sky didn't warn. No thunder, no lightning, just an eerie stillness that broke without mercy. Within hours, the heart of southwestern Pennsylvania and parts of southern Indiana were drowning. A series of storms, relentless, unexpected, overwhelming, slammed into the region, unleashing chaos on an unimaginable scale. It began Friday afternoon. The clouds darkened over Allegheny County. Then the downpour started. But this was no ordinary rain. It was a deluge. Walls of water cascaded down onto Pittsburgh and surrounding communities. Roads disappeared beneath surging currents. Vehicles floated sideways, colliding with streetlights and trees. Sidewalks cracked and vanished under feet of water. Emergency alerts lit up mobile devices too late. The storm was already in motion. In Murrysville, the situation turned critical in minutes. Residents had no time to react. One household, busy preparing for a high school graduation ceremony, watched helplessly as water surged into their basement. There was no exit, no higher ground. The house became an island, the neighborhood a river. Harrison City, Export, and other nearby towns faced similar destruction. Westmoreland County sounded the highest level of emergency response. At least 8 swift water rescue units were dispatched into the flood zone. Rescuers waded through chest-deep water to extract victims trapped in submerged vehicles. 2 elderly women were pulled from a sinking car on Pleasant Valley Road. More than 90 individuals were evacuated, including dozens of high school seniors dressed for graduation ceremonies that never happened. For over 3 hours, the rain didn't stop. Bud Mertz, Director of Public Safety, confirmed that the weather system stalled over the region. It hovered, dumping inches of rain per hour. Mertz called it a perfect storm, one that crippled the area's ability to respond in time. Turtle Creek overflowed. So did Steele's Run. Neighborhoods vanished underwater. Old William Penn Highway, stretching from Hills Church Road to Van Buren Street, had to be closed immediately. Traffic ground to a halt. First responders couldn't reach certain areas as water levels rose faster than predicted. Police Chief Tom Kaczynski declared this the worst flooding the town had seen in over a decade. The valley's geography, shaped like a funnel, channeled the storm straight into the town's core. The rain just kept coming, he said. It did let up. Elsewhere, chaos unfolded with equal force. Anthony Packer attempted to return home to check on his dog. Floodwaters reached halfway up his garage. The Westmoreland Heritage Trail had disappeared beneath a new, violent river. A rescue team navigated him back by boat. His dog survived, but the damage to his home was catastrophic. The stairwell was destroyed. Water had consumed the entire lower floor. Across the region, firefighters and utility crews battled failing infrastructure. Duquesne Light confirmed more than 3,000 power outages. Allegheny County was hit the hardest. West Penn Power reported blackouts across Greensburg and New Stanton. Utility poles collapsed under saturated soil. Live wires dangled above rushing currents. Monroeville was next. Route 48 and Abers Creek Road went underwater. White Oak reported a major landslide, closing Jack's Run Road. In Hempfield, parts of old Route 119 were unrecognizable. Floodwater transformed familiar terrain into mud-soaked wastelands. Counties from surrounding areas sent reinforcements. Barricades were erected. Helicopters hovered above for aerial assessment. In export, water breached flood control culverts. Within 15 minutes, Steele's Run overtopped and roared through residential blocks. Streets turned into sewage-laced rivers. Trash bins floated beside downed fences. Trees lay uprooted. The water reached windows in some homes. Footage captured residents standing on rooftops. Streets were gone. Sidewalks had dissolved. One father, soaked and barefoot, was seen carrying his daughter through waist-high water. He wasn't evacuating. He was still trying to reach the graduation ceremony, clinging to the last fragment of normalcy. Meanwhile, southern Indiana was also under siege. Nearly 6 inches of rainfall pummeled the region in less than a day. In Washington County, the town of Salem suffered massive flooding. South Water Street vanished. Vehicles were lifted and dragged like driftwood. Entire blocks were submerged. The sheriff's office issued a stark order: turn around, don't drown. 2 separate water rescues were executed in Salem, on Empty Table Road and Water Street. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, but damage to roads and homes was extensive. Several bridges sustained structural fractures. Schools and public buildings were flooded. As water levels began to recede, the full scope of destruction emerged. Streets were coated in mud and debris. Broken furniture floated in front yards. Sewage overflowed into basements. Families returned to find their homes unlivable. Personal belongings, photo albums, documents, electronics, destroyed within minutes. Emergency teams continue to assess damage. Officials are determining if the affected counties qualify for state and federal disaster relief. Temporary shelters have been set up. Utility crews are restoring power slowly, line by line. Yet the real cost of the storm can't be measured in property alone. For many, it was the moment they realized how unprepared they were. This wasn't just a weather event, it was a breakdown of normal life. At the time of this report, dozens of roads remain closed. Water systems are contaminated. Electricity has not returned to many rural areas. In some places, rescue boats are still patrolling for stranded residents. Insurance claims have already crossed thousands. Cleanup will take weeks. Recovery, months. This was not a flood. This was a rupture. It showed how nature no longer plays by the rules, how a single day of rain can erase years of stability, how in less than 6 hours an entire county can be left gasping for air. This was Pennsylvania's warning. This was Indiana's reckoning. And the systems in place, alarms, barriers, forecasts, were not enough. Not this time.